You may not know me yet, but hopefully you'll stick around and get to know me. Greetings and salutations, fellow GOAT format players. It's me, your boy JDZ, and I'm back at you with, or not back, I'm here for the first time ever with my first ever YouTube video. There was a ton of hesitancy, trepidation about doing this. I don't usually put myself out there. I'm not that kind of guy to do this kind of thing, but I've recently had a little bit of extra free time and I decided, you know what, why not? I decided that I wanted to play this at a more competitive, higher echelon of whatever you want to call it. And the best way to keep myself accountable is by just putting it out there. So if you want to come with me on this journey, on this quest, if you will, to go from a, I don't know, regular player to a more competitive player, and just come on in and follow the situation, and we'll see where it goes. But again, like everything else, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just decided to go buy a bunch of camera equipment and recording stuff and send it like I do everything. So we'll see how this winds up for me. But I have a ton of ideas of things I want to do for this channel. I want to do replays. I want to do live dueling book things. I want to do remote duels. I want to do progression series. I want to play with my friends. I want to get to know people out there. But mainly I want to learn how to become a better player, and I want to learn how to, be a better person.
Dude, my mic sucks.
So if playing GOATs is something that you're into, or you're learning how to do it, you've never played before, come on in. We can learn together. If you're a really good player, if you are, tournament qualifying, you had regionals and Shonen Jump championships and Super Master GOAT format player, come on in because I can learn from you. So just please help me out and we can do this together. It could be something cool. I don't know. So a big part of this channel, what I want to do is analyze replays. I want to look at some of the replays from my previous matches, put them out here. You guys can critique them, or I can critique them to myself until I can get someone to come in and look at these videos, I don't know, and tell me what I'm doing wrong. Recently, about a week or so ago, I don't know, depending on when this video comes out, goatformat.com Discord, they put together a Patreon or a qualifying, basically a tournament to qualify for another tournament to qualify for Worlds. So it was kind of like a low threat kind of tournament, something that I thought would be good for me. I don't have a lot of tournament experience. I mean, I played a lot way back in the day, took a 15-year hiatus, and now I'm trying to get back into the game. And it's a good place to kind of step in, get your feet wet a little bit in tournament. I think I played maybe in one of the GFC tournaments last season, and I lost 0-2 in probably about 45 seconds. It was in and out, like a Panda Burn and Reasoning Gate, and my tournament career was over. I didn't have a lot of time then. I have a little bit more time now, so hopefully going forward this next season I can play, a substantial bit more, and maybe I can get better, and hell, maybe I can even qualify for World, because that's my goal. That's what I want to do. Straight to the moon, baby. I want to be the one that can qualify for a World's Championship spot this time, 2022. If not, the next time. I'm just going to keep playing as much as I can to get as good as I can, because it's something that I enjoy doing. So hopefully if you enjoy too, make sure you come on in and get in the comments and subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. I'm learning. This is going to get better, I promise. But speaking of that tournament, I think about between 20 and 30 people entered. I ended up getting third place, which is pretty cool for me for my very first tournament. But like I said, it was some good players there, but a lot of the heavy super hitters really didn't have time, or they didn't show up. It was kind of an impromptu kind of thing. I think I don't really know, but a lot of the really heavy players didn't show up, but had about 30 really solid dudes anyway, or solid people, I'll say, come out, and I ended up getting third. I know a lot of people dropped, but it is what it is. So I want to show you some of the replays from that throughout the next couple of videos, and we could do some analysis, analyzation, whatever, and we can get me better or get me worse. I don't know, or maybe you can learn something from me. I can teach me, and I teach. You know the vibes. You already know what time it is. So yeah, I'll go and throw that up here, and we'll see what's going on. All right, so here is the deck that I wanted to take to that tournament. I knew that there would be a variety of different things. I didn't quite know what I would face in this particular tournament,
but I knew I wanted to take Chaos Control specifically because I know for me, if the game can last longer, I'll have a better chance to put something together and maybe I can get a win. I'm not outplaying a whole lot of people right now, but if I can extend the game, I can play. And Chaos Control typically goes a little bit longer. I'll do a quick rundown, but it's pretty obvious. You know, BLS, Breaker, 2 Sork. This inspiration I got for this particular deck. Like I said, I didn't have a lot of time to do a bunch of analysis, but I just went to the goatformat.com website. If you don't go there often, you should go there. They have a ton of ideas, ton of decks. The World's just finished. I know I want to play Chaos Control, so I just scrolled down. I got a lot of these ideas from James Ark, very talented, very legendary, accomplished Yu-Gi-Oh player in a multitude of different formats. But he took Chaos Control. He got 3rd place. So I took a lot of his ideas and concepts, and I just kind of put some things that I like to do in there to make it somewhat my own, but it's still basically what he did. One big difference I did, I took the Spies out and I took the Dekoichis out, just because in the Chaos Turbo match, when the Noblemans are flying around, they're going to get my guy, I'm going to get their guy, I'm going to play Nobleman on their card, they're going to play it on mine. It's just going to kind of take all those cards out of the deck, mainly all the darks. It's probably wrong to think about, but that was just my thought process. I know I wanted to play Mystic Tomato because the mind control thing that comes in usually game 2, Mystic Tomato is kind of a little more resilient to that than the other flips. So I went with the level 1 and the 1 level 3, the Mystic Tomatoes and the 1 Spirit Reaper situation. Just kind of help with the warriors. They come in, I can go into Spirit Reaper and kind of stall a little bit. That was just my thoughts. You know, I like I said, I didn't put a lot of analysis into it, but it was something I wanted to try, and you know, it kind of worked. Some things worked, some things didn't, but that's kind of why I wanted to make this channel, to reach out to people who know, and maybe you can school me up and bring me along, and I can probably help people come along, and maybe you'll see it my way too. So it's a 2-way street. Yeah, I went with the Mimics. I went with the 1 level 1 and 1 level 3, 2 Book of Moons, 3 Metamorphoses, a Nobleman, 3 Scapegoats. A lot of times people use the 2 Scapegoats, which they're probably right, but I just wanted to see 3. Like I said, it can stall, it can go into Metamorphosis and get my 1,000 Eyes out. A lot of different things. I'm not playing a lot of traps. I just got the 3 Royal Decrees and the one ring. So again, my goal for this tournament was to kind of get as much experience as I can, and I wanted to extend the games as long as I could to just see different things and find myself in a variety of different situations, and hopefully I can come out on top. So I'll go over to the side deck. I went with the two Assure Priest for the Goats. I went with 3 Death Wombats for burn, 3 Zombiras for the warrior, or if they're playing a lot of Gravekeeper Spy, this guy comes in handy for those. Share the Pain is something that I've been kind of testing out. When I do have my time to play is kind of limited, but when I do get to play, I try out like different things, and Share the Pain kind of worked out pretty, you know, one of the things I've been trying out, it's kind of worked out pretty good for me in the Ojama Trio burn situation, or in some regards you can get like guys who like to stick on the board. You know, you can't get them off. You know, the lava golems, the if you get, you know, goat lock with your 1,000 Eyes, you can get them off and force your opponent to kind of tribute a guy, and it might come up, it might not, but just something I was thinking about. It's interesting. Regeki breaks, a lot of variety. Use card, you can get the back row, you can get the sets, you can get, you know, chaos stuff, 1,000 Eyes, whatever. So I thought I'd give it a shot. And also the 3 trap dust shoots, I put those in, especially if I lose a game 1 and I know I'm going first game 2, I'll put in the trap dust shoots, because a lot of times it's a really broken card. If you can time it just right, and you can get the right trap dust shoot at the right time, just getting that hand information from your opponent, you can just flat out just win sometimes right from the very beginning. So great card. I like to throw that in after that. So here's the deck. What do you guys think? Tell me what you think about it. Like I said, it's basically what James Ark did, with probably just much worse because of what I did to it. So if you think, hey, maybe you can make James Ark's deck better, let me know, and we can discuss that. You know, this is going to be a family thing. All right, so let's get on over to that replay. All right, so here's that replay that I was talking about. So a little bit about my opponent. During this game, this is actually the second time that we met in a short amount of time. There was a 4-man free card giveaway tournament that was held by Gib Nation in Discord. If you don't know him, Gib Nation is a very talented, prolific Yu-Gi-Oh player. He's also a great retailer. So if you're in the market for some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, make sure you reach out to that Gib Nation and come up with collectibles. But anyway, he held like an impromptu kind of 4-man tournament, and I just so happened to get matched up with Shaggy Powers, and he actually beat me 2-1. At that time, I was running Warriors. He was on his goat control. He's an avid goat control player. He's passionate about goats. So that was one thing that I had going for me during this match, is that I knew what he was playing because he plays goat control, and he didn't know what I was playing because I played Warriors. So he was already at a slight disadvantage going into this match, just based off of that. So let's get right into it.
Round one.
I go rock. I win. Rock rocks. Whatever you want to say. I choose to go first. Obviously, if you're new to this game, you're new to goats. There's really no reason to go second. If you win, you always want to go first, because if you go first, you're always at like a pretty significant advantage, I think, anyway. But tell me if I'm wrong. Go ahead and tell me I'm wrong. I open up with the Dark Mimic level 1, Nobuna Crossout, Scapegoat, Tsukiyomi, Metamorphosis. My opponent gets the Tsukiyomi, Nobuna Crossout, Breaker, Dekoichi, and Magician of Faith. So again, I got the Dark Mimic in hand. I think a good play would just go ahead and be, well, let's go ahead and draw that next card. I draw into another Nobuna of Crossout. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and set the Dark Mimic, maybe put the Scapegoats down. I haven't seen this replay too many times, so I don't remember exactly what happens, but I believe I just set the Dark Mimic and maybe the Scapegoats, or maybe just the Dark Mimic. And there you go. He draws into the Metamorphosis. And he's got that Nobuna Crossout, so it's probably pretty good to get that Mimic going, cross that on out. And again, that's not the end of the world for me. I put the Mimics in, and I put the Mystic Tomatoes in, and all those guys, they can eat those crossouts, so the Faith can kind of have a better chance of resolving. So I'm not too concerned about it. So it's really not the end of the world. He gets the Mimic. I go to the deck. I don't have any more. Which again, that's a small little mind game that you can play because usually if you are playing Mimic, which that's a very retro kind of thing to do anyway. But if you do play Mimic, you're probably going to play more than one. So now my opponent may think that I have more than one Mimic in my hand or in my deck, or if I didn't put one out of my deck, so he's just going to assume that one's in my hand. But at the same time, my opponent also, just a little the knowledge, he thinks I'm playing Warriors, so me setting anything is already kind of throwing him in the first place. But that being that Mimic, now he's really the wheels are turning, like, hey, what's going on? This is not the matchup that I was expecting to get into, and he's kind of reanalyzing his game plan. Okay, and he goes ahead and sets the Dekoichi, passes over to me. I draw into Book of Moon. All right, so I go ahead and I set the Scapegoat, and I go and play the Nobuna Crossout instead, killing the Dekoichi. I don't play any Dekoichi, and he does not remove one from his deck. So basically the same thing he just did to me, I did to him. So I assume now that he has at least one copy of Dekoichi in his hand, because a lot of times people don't just run the one. It's like it's a two or none kind of situation. But he's trying to trick me the same way I'm trying to trick him. He draws some Mystical Space Typhoon. He brings down the Breaker. And that's another good play from like someone who has a little bit more experience. You can tell, like, a lot of times when you're playing unrated or you're playing on the ladder, you run into someone with lower experience, someone that's newer to the game. I don't want to be rude, I'm not some kind of super guy, elite, whatever. But if you match up with someone with lower experience, they have this Mystical Space Typhoon, a lot of times they'll just rip it, which sometimes that's the right thing to do, but most times you want to see if you can maximize the value, because there's so many chainable cards out here now, and if you go and just throwing this thing around, you're just gonna just waste your cards. So I think he did it right. He brought out the Breaker to try to get a max value out of the Breaker, and then maybe set the space and get something in phase, and go out that way. Gains counter, moves the counter, goes ahead and breaks my Scapegoat. So now he's really like, okay, this is not Warriors. This was something, I don't know what's going on. Let me reevaluate the game plan. For sure, I know I'm up against something different. He swings at one and sets the MST. I draw, I grab the Pot of Greed. Oh man, you'd love to see it. You love to see it. Whenever I see that gold grill, that Kodak Black looking back at me, I'm just like,
Mariama TV.
Like, man, thumbs up, because he's something's gonna go well when you got the Pot of Greed. You get two cards, anything can happen. Super broke it, and also when you get this before your opponent gets theirs, it starts to. This thing it's a lot of mental fortitude and toughness and resiliency that goes along with this game that a lot of people don't talk about. But when you start playing your Trinity cards and your power spells and you're popping off and you're doing all this stuff, your opponent starts to feel it, and that kind of goes a long way. So I get the Pot of Greed. I go ahead and play it. I draw into Chaos Sorcerer, and I draw into Spirit Reaper. And I just go in Metamorphosis here. I don't know, what do you guys think about this? I don't know if this is the right play at this time, but I feel like I got the Tsukiyomi. I can go ahead and start the Thousand Eyes flip-flop situation. I can get the breaker. I can get a clean plus if I can pull it off, and I can get some damage in. That's why I went for it now. And I got the Book of Moon maybe as a backup plan in case something goes wrong. What do you guys think? Maybe not. Maybe I could have brought the Tsukiyomi, just hit here and kept it moving for the next thing, but let me know what you guys think. So I go ahead and bring out 1,000 Eyes. So now he's got a problem that he's got to deal with. Take the breaker. I go ahead and swing in for 16. He takes it. I set the Book of Moon. Maybe that was a bad set. Who knows? MST in the end phase, so it really doesn't matter. He draws into enemy controller. Wow. What do you guys think of that? I mean, enemy controller, I think that's a pretty underexplored card in this format. A lot of people don't use it. Back in the day, people were all over enemy controller, but now it's just, you know, kind of unused or underserved. I think it's got some legs. Maybe it can be something. Let me know what you guys think. So he draws an enemy controller. He's got, unfortunate for me, fortunate for him, he had the Tsukiyomi in his hand the whole time. So my 1,000 Eyes is super weak right now. He just go ahead and has the easy out for that boy. Knocks him out. Boom, smacks him, sends him to the graveyard, and sets the enemy controller. And we're going on to the next play. So here, I go ahead and just bring out the Spirit Reaper, and my thought is, if this thing comes down and now I know that he knows and I know that now we're in a goat mirror, and every card is critical. You know, the whole thing about goat mirrors, if you don't know, if you're newer to the game, it's all about your resource management. You want to try to out-resource your opponent. If they're playing goats too, it's all about just trying to get your pluses when you can, and keep the tempo and keep as much advantage over your opponent. So if this Spirit Reaper comes in and hits in, I'm getting a card out of his hand, and he's going to have to use this no matter what. So that was my thought. Let's go ahead and put some pressure and see if I can get him to use it. And sure enough, he's going to use that enemy controller. And in this situation, enemy controller does in fact kill Spirit Reaper, if you didn't know. Of course it would. I mean, why wouldn't it? But whatever. And we're having a little discussion about that, but no big deal. We got through it. Shout out to the judge, Mr. Cam right here. He kind of sorted that all out. He draws into Scapegoat, which is now good for him because now he has the Scapegoat, Metamorphosis, and the Tsukiyomi. He already had the level 1, but now he's got more more expendable level 1s that he can use to bring out his 1,000 Eyes, and you know, we can do this whole thing. He goes ahead and sets the Magician of Fate, and he sets the Scapegoat. That's a little unfortunate for him because I did draw into the 2 Noblemen, which rarely happens. But one thing I do want to point out about my game, and about other people maybe can take something from this too, is that a lot of times I play a lot of casual, a lot of unrated, a lot of times I just play with my friends or I play over the phone. It's really no big deal. But if you notice, I'm not always clicking my phase indicators. I think it's very appropriate, like in a tournament setting, or when you're playing something that's and you're not talking, you just got the little chat box and everything, to just kind of let your opponent know like what's going on. And that kind of catches up to me in one of these games. I can't remember exactly which one, but it catches up to me. So I think it's important that when you're playing, just get in a good habit of clicking your phase, which I don't always do. So don't sue me. I'll fix that. If you see anything else in the game, go ahead and tell me, and I'll clean that up too. So I bring out Mystic Tomato in my draw phase, and I go ahead and play the Nobleman. You always want to summon before you Nobleman. That's just if you know you're going to summon or set, go ahead and do that summon or set, then play the Nobleman. Don't just Nobleman first, then summon, because if this was torrential, chances are if I bring down the Mystic Tomato, he probably won't torrential right here because he wants his faith to go off. He think I'll just attack. But then if I Nobleman, he's definitely going to play torrential to kill all my goats. And so just think about it. Something to think about. I'm ranting. I'll try not to rant so much next time. All right, gets the faith, which kind of sucks. but at the same time, he didn't get one off. I didn't get one off, so we're all square. So all 3 of mine are gone. All 2 of his are gone. Maybe he's got one in his hand, but I know he has, at this point, I know he has Tsukiyomi, and I think he has maybe Dekoichi or something else. I'm not sure. But I go ahead and swing for 14. He plays goats. He goes ahead and plays goats. So I'm like, fine, cool, no big deal. I'll just swing on 1 right now. He goes down to 3. Boom. Draws into premature burial. So looking at his hand, looking at what he's got going on, checking his graveyard. He's got the breaker. I think he makes the right play, and I think he's just gonna go Metamorphosis right here. A good tech for me. I think when you bring out the Thousand Eyes, you got your Tsukiyomi. I think it's really cool when you can bring the Thousand Eyes out with someone with stats. So when I say stats, I mean someone that's got some numbers that you can actually attack with. 14 is a pretty decent stat line, so he'll be able to swing over a lot of stuff. So that's a good thing. He can get additional pluses on top of the one he's about to get right now. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing to try to do. If you can take set monsters, taking set monsters is great, but if you can get someone with a body on it, that's even better. Sometimes in this situation for sure. He gets the Mystic Tomato, and then he knocks out a goat. I draw into Tribe Infecting Virus, and I gotta fix it. That's another thing. For another thing that I've noticed playing experienced players or playing on the ladder, when I match up with like higher ranking people, they're always in like full receive mode. They're always looking for any tell, any information, anything you're giving up. You misplay, put a card out face up. They're gonna remember that, and they're gonna use that against you. So what I need to get out of the habit of is I'll draw into a Chaos Sorcerer, and then I'll immediately just go check my graveyard, knowing good and well that I don't have the ability to summon Chaos Sorcerer because I don't have any light. All my lights just got knocked. I haven't seen a light card yet. So if you just kind of go with the flow of the game and see what's going on, you won't have to do that. So now if I draw, check my graveyard, my opponent now knows that maybe I have Premature, maybe I have Magician of Faith, maybe I have Chaos Monster that I'm trying to summon. He'll remember that and he'll play accordingly. So just keep that in mind. It's something that you can easily do now to kind of help yourself get better, that I've been trying to incorporate in my game sometimes, and maybe it's working, maybe it's not. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Any other little tips that you can do to improve your game without even trying? That'll be a great thing that you can share here. I think that'll be something of value. Ranting again. So I get the Chaos Sorcerer, and unfortunate for him, same thing like he did to me. I got the clean out to his Thousand Eyes with my own Tsukiyomi. Goes face down, tomato graveyard, smack, Thousand Eyes is gone. I'm going to set another pair of goats. Maybe that was wrong, because I have one, already, but whatever. And I go ahead and bring Tsukiyomi back to my hand, and my turn. He draws the Suits Torrential Tribute. Not bad. He goes ahead and sets it up and pass over me. I draw into Ring of Destruction. See, now we're in these goat mirrors. We're just kind of just gaining more resources. The game's kind of slow down. We make our plays, slow down, you build back up, and then you do it again. So I set my ring, and I pass it over to him. He draws Mirror Force. And that's a great play for him. A lot of times, again, for newer players, I remember when I was a newer player, I used to do it too. I get Mirror Force. I'm like, man, I need to get this Mirror Force down because I can use it. Well, then one of these could very well be Heavy Storm, and then I'll play goats and then play Heavy Storm, and then your Mirror Force and Torrential, 2 awesome cards that are not chainable in any way to that Heavy Storm. You just lost, and then that's just more value that you could be getting out of, especially in these goat mirrors. You want as much value as you can get. This could be 2, that could be 2. You want to try to maximize them as much as you can, so you don't want them to get blown out by a Heavy Storm. So him keeping that in his hand is really smart. Let the Torrential do what it's going to do. Let it get destroyed, whatever's going to happen, and then you bring out the Mirror Force and let that do what it's going to do, and then you move on with your life. But again, sometimes it's not an always situation, but most of the time you don't want to have them together. I draw BLS. I pass back over to him because I know it's dead. Hopefully that time I didn't check my graveyard. I didn't see if I did or not. He draws into Tribe Infecting Virus. It's like we're going card for card at this point. And he says go. I draw into Thunder Dragon, which is pretty sick. I like that because now I know that I have darks and now I have lights to activate these chaos guys I have sitting here. Thunder Dragon number 1, Thunder Dragon number 2. So instead of going chaos here, I decided to just go ahead and go tribe, because now I have the cards to discard and I have priority, and you know, whatever this is going to be, he can use it on tribe, and then that frees up less stuff he can use on these guys. So he thinks about it, because this might be a good time to torrential here, but that's what he's gonna do. But I have priority, so if you don't know what priority is, again, that's something we can go over in later channels. I can sit here and talk about priority for another hour and a half, but I'm gonna save you to the next video, and we can talk about that later. But if you don't know what priority is, just go ahead and go over to the goatformat website, look at some of the rules, and you'll see. But I do have priority in this situation, and I decided to go ahead and throw out the Thunder Dragon and then call beast, killing all these goats. Something's good. He doesn't decide to use the trench tribute. I go ahead and battle, and I hit for 16, and he takes it right on. I know that he has that. I know that he has Tsukiyomi, and I know that he can easily use it to out this. But my plan is maybe I can use this ring, and then we'll see what happens. So he tries it. He goes Tsukiyomi. He sets my tribe, and I bust out the ring. I'm like, okay, I need to get this Tsukiyomi out of here, because if I do decide to bring out another Thousand Eyes later on in the game, then this Tsukiyomi can just do the same thing over and over again. That's going to be annoying. The tribe still gets set, no big deal, and then sets his own guys. Right on. So I draw into Book of Moon, which is pretty sick too, because now I have some protection for my boys if I decide to bring them out. So that's pretty cool. I flip over the tribe, and he immediately TTs right there, which I don't think is a bad play at all. You want to try to max the value, you want to try to get two guys, but a lot of times it doesn't happen. So you sit there and wait, and then you'll just lose a lot of times. So he made a good call. He just pops the tribe right here, and you don't there's nothing to blow. So I'm like, okay, let me think. I go and go one light, one magic or spell, or it should be a dark. I'll fix that later. And I bring out the Chaos Sorcerer, and that's what I know is a lot of better player. And this is pretty common sense. A lot of this stuff I'm saying is common sense, especially if you're a good player or a medium player or whatever. A lot of this stuff is really common sense, but I'm kind of targeting the newer people to the format. And if you have both of these, a lot of times, and they're both live, which they are in this case, you want to bring the weaker one out first. Let the shenanigans happen to him, and then you can bring out the big one later on, and then do what you're going to do, unless you got game, and we'll talk about that at another time. But he plays goats, and I hit one, and I set the Pokemon in order to hopefully protect my guys when they need it. He draws into his pot of greed, and he's probably like, oh yeah, now it's time, it's catch up time, because I already played mine. So now, and I got Thunder Dragon, so now he hung on, he weathered the storm, and now it's his turn to make a move. He plays his pot of greed. He draws into Morphing Jar and Graceful Charity. So now he's just like, okay, it's happening. Comeback time, comeback central. Any because I think I thought I might have been ahead a little bit because just the way the game went. But now he's coming back right to the driver's seat. And when it starts happening, I'm telling you, like, you get like, I don't want to say, you just feel, not good, because your opponent's getting all these good cards. You feel like you're in a good spot, and then these things start happening. You're like, okay, well, what can I do to stop this, to stop the bleeding? But you just gotta stay composed, stay resilient. I'm trying to learn resiliency in this game, especially. I'm resilient in everything else, but it just sucks when your opponent goes pot and graceful, and he gets 3, and he gets duo, and you're just like, okay, what is going on? Like, how can this be? Woe is me. You're feeling all this dread and all this doubt, but just keep thugging, man, and you'll sort it out, or you won't. And then next game, there's always game 2. I fixed the whole dark situation here with the Pokemon that I erroneously banished. He now sets the Mirror Force, and for some reason he doesn't rip this duo. That's interesting to me. I have no self-control. Again, he probably has way more self-control than I do. I would have threw this thing down so quick, and then just whatever happens. I'm not sure why he did. Maybe it was because of this Thunder Dragon is still here, and he was waiting for that to go, and then maybe get 2 more real ones. Maybe the life points are super low. He's trying to conserve them. He's trying to hide from Ring. I already played mine. He hasn't played his yet. I'm not sure, but he didn't play it, and I'm thankful for that because I'm compromised right now with what he's got going on and what I got going on. So I'm glad he didn't. I draw into Metamorphosis, and which is pretty sick. I got the Sork here. I can go into Ryu Senshi if I wanted to. I can sack this guy, go into Dark Balls if I want to. I mean, that's a stretch. I don't know why I would do that, but I can. I mean, if things go wrong, I got these goats. I got Thousand Eyes, another play, but I'm chilling. I'm just kind of cruising and just waiting for my opponent to do something. At this time, I mean, we've gone through basically half the deck, so I'm fairly confident that this trap is something that is legitimate. It's not like a bluff. It's something that can really do some damage. So I'm gonna play around it. I'm gonna treat it with the respect that it deserves. Wait on one of these Royal Decrees to come up. I got 3 in the deck, and we're 17 cards left, and I haven't seen one. So hopefully, that'll come up, and I can do something with it. My opponent draws Gravekeeper Spy. Not a bad card in this situation. Then sets that down and passes it over to me. Again, I'm not too shook. I'm kind of just cruising. I don't want to rush too much. I just go ahead and banish another goat. I switch my boy to defense, and then I bring out the Mystic Tomato. Not too concerned. Torrential's already been played, and I go to battle and I swing at the other goat. Maybe he'll use this. Maybe he won't. Obviously he won't. He draws into Fusilier, the dual mode beast. Wow, I never would have saw that card coming. This card actually does some work in this game. I do remember that. He draws Fusilier, and then he just says go. I draw into Sinister Serpent, which is one of my favorite cards. Again, I got Metamorphosis, I got Sinister Serpent. I could bring Thousand Eyes out. I got stuff I can do, and I got counterplay, and I got time. So I'm not trying to just blow myself out, but at the same time I got to get something going. Again, Sinister Serpent, great card. Honestly, I think Sinister Serpent is one of the top 10 cards of this format. If you don't, what do you guys think? Sinister Serpent, very slept on. I don't think he's slept on. I just don't think he gets the respect that he's due. Yeah, so I'm thinking, I'm looking, I'm analyzing, I'm making these reads, and I'm like, man, I didn't mean to set the serpent, but I'm like, I think I can pull something off right there. I think I can win. I think I can win right now. And I go Metamorphosis into Ryu Senshi. Level 6. If you don't Ryu Senshi, look him up. He's a pretty sick card. Negate traps, pay 1,000. I have 69. Nope.
Nice.
Big deal. It can't be targeted. No Pokemoons, none of that. So cool. And then I bring out the Blackluster Soldier. And this is where I gotta stop, because I'm like, okay. Game is here. All I have to do, if you notice, I didn't normal summon this turn. All I had to do was bring out this Tsukiyomi, flip this Mystic Tomato down, flip it back up, banish this card, negate this whatever trap this is going to be, and then just win, right? That's all day. I mean, any good player, any decent player, any average player would see that immediately and just do it. But I'm thinking, obviously not long enough, obviously not hard enough, and I'm like, okay, if I just attack with this BLS, attack again, and attack with these guys, then I'll win, and the game will be over. But so that was my thought process. Bad thought process. Bad. But you know what? That's life. You gotta live with it. And I end up attacking this Gravekeeper Spy, which, I mean, what are you gonna do? He gets the other one out. I attack that one with the BLS with his effect, and I swing in for 34, which obviously worked out for him, because had he played this duo, then he just loses right there. But he didn't. He read the tea leaves. He knew what was going on. And right now I'm just triggered. I'm just like, I'm seething. I am just tilted. I'm angry. I'm so mad, because I'm like, why didn't I just do it different? Why didn't I just think a little bit longer and just get it done right there? The game was over and I just missed it. So, I mean, whatever, that comes with that's just my lack of experience on display. That's something that I obviously have to work on if I want to get anywhere that I want to be in this game. I I can't do that. So that's just, and I think I actually get severely punished for that actually happening. And you're gonna see. Shout out to my opponent. He's a very resilient player. He's I can't say enough good things about what he's got going on, and he saw this through. And spoiler alert, you know, takes out the tribe, throws the duo, calls warrior, and I'm just like, I'm tight. Like I am just super tight, just angry at this point. Flip the Book of Moon and try to save my boy. Not gonna happen. He got the nobleman. It's just like, dude, I deserve everything that's happened to me right now. I am so bad at this game. Whatever you want to do, just Exodia. Whatever you want to do, just finish me, dude. Because I'm just. You get so low. You know, you get so low, and that's something I got to work on. The mental toughness and just like just fighting through adversity and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, dude, this sucks. This game sucks. And I'm like, whatever. So he throws the dead premature burial, the dead delinquent duo, and he's just knocking my whole, just trying to just punch the clock, knock my whole board off. And main 2, he's probably just like loving it right now. Just Yugi Moto, just loving it. He did a double set. He caught it, but sets the call on it. I draw in a snatch steal, and I'm like, okay, I'm still super tilted. My composure is absolutely gone. I'm like, okay, maybe if I just get this snatch to go off, I can just snatch this tribe, hit him for 16, and we're going to game 2 anyway. I can lick my wounds in the side deck in time and move on with my life. But we'll see what happens. So I throw out the snatch in my draw phase again. I got to clean that up. Again, I'm super tight. Enter the battle phase, and I just swing a 16. All my fingers across. And Japanese Force, which I knew it was there. It's been there for 5 turns already. I'm actually getting upset right now just looking at this replay. It's very upsetting. He draws a DD Warrior Lady. Main 1 brings out DD Warrior Lady, just swings in for 15. And I play another set of Scapegoats. And he knows I'm on the ropes. I am like on the ropes. I had him, and now I don't have him. I've drawn to another Tsukiyomi, which is just so frustrating. So frustrating. I'm just so upset. I say go. He gets Metamorphosis, and it's about to get real. It's about to get real. He brings out the Fusilier, the dual mode beast, goes Metamorphosis, and brings out King Dragoon. The King Dragoon. King Dragoon's a very sick card. Can't be targeted. He can't be. He can special summon dragons. I don't think he's going to use that effect, but the fact that he can't be targeted by any card effect at all, you know, it's just crazy. And all these, you know, Tsukiyomi targets. This guy targets. Both my Tsukiyomi's target. I got this Sinister Serpent, Thunder Dragon, just looking at me like, oh, we're worthless. And he kills 2 of my goats. And I'm like, and I'm thinking, and I'm sure he's thinking, he's like, there's nothing like in my deck, in my whole list that can deal with this guy right now. And he knows this, and I'm sure I know this, so I'm assuming he knows this. But again, I just want to get as much information as I can. I'm already like upset. I want these games to go long, so I'm not gonna. I should just quit right here because there's really nothing I can do. But I want to see the rest of his deck, see what he's got, and maybe I can make some changes in the next one. I've gone to the level 3, which isn't the worst card. Definitely not the best card. It doesn't matter. I just need somebody to protect my life points at this point. He draws Heavy Storm. Battle phase. He swings into the lunchbox. He does not choose to banish. He just lets me get a card. I've finally drawn the Royal Decree, which is wonderful. Sarcasm. He kills the goat in phase. I draw into Chaos Sorcerer, which also sucks because Chaos Sorcerer can't banish this thing. It's just like, what am I going to do? I set the Royal Decree. I set the Tsukiyomi. Pass. He draws the Dust Tornado. So any kind of setting of traps or spells that can get me out of this, cancel those 2 because he's got to double out to both of those. And he hits my Tsukiyomi. I set the DD Warrior Lady, and he cracks me for another 24. This thing is King Dragoon is absolutely obliterating my cheeks right now, just running my buns, just with no mercy, just absolutely, just it's gross. Like I can't. I'm losing sleep right now based off this King Dragoon. So I draw again. I get the stupidest delinquent duo you can ever draw. 9 cards left in the deck. You're getting run down by this idiot, and you draw this. I'm like, bro, I need you when I need you. I don't need you right now, but whatever. I go ahead and set it. I set the serpent, and I'm just like, okay, just go. At least I get the dust tornado out of the way. Actually, I don't. I just play Road to Creek. I'm just sad. But yeah, it probably would have been better for me since I knew that I couldn't win because I don't have the cards to win. I probably should have just stopped so he didn't get any more information from my deck. But I think I wanted him to just see it all, so that way he'll see. Because I didn't play a Royal Decree this whole game, but now he'll see the Royal Decree and he'll think, hey, maybe this guy's playing Royal Decree and bring in Royal Decree stuff, and then I do the side thing and then take all the Royal Decrees. I don't know. I'm tilted. I am full blown tilt at this point. So I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just out here sending it. So he goes ahead and heavies, gets the duo, gets the decree. DD Warrior Lady hits into the serpent. He just banishes that, and I get another 24 to the face. And I'm just like, man, this is just the worst. And I said, I play heavy. He gets goats, which is fine because that's another. Gonna lock his field out so he can't immediately kill me. It'll be a slower process. I set the Tsukiyomi. He gets the Sinister Serpent. Hits into the Tsukiyomi. Can't do anything about that. I draw. Set another pair of goats. He draws. Swings in. I play goats. And I'm just gonna just keep going. I don't just keep playing and see what happens. I draw into Graceful Charity again, the worst possible Graceful Charity I think you can get. I mean, maybe if it was the last card, but 6 cards into a dead deck with nothing to do. That's unfortunate. I get Breaker, Royal Decree, set the Breaker, and it's just over for me. This thing came out and he just punched me in the face for the whole game that I should have won. This game was over. I didn't do it right, and that's something you got to learn. You got to do what you got to do. Maybe I can bring this Metamorphosis out and just hope for the best. Bring out 1,000 Eyes or something and just hope Metamorphosis, whatever. But it is what it is. He knows I'm gonna deck. I don't have the cards. I can't. There's really not much I can do. So he just sits back and just kind of draws and just lets me lose. He brings out Jinzo. So now I see he has Zaborg in there. I see he's at Jinzo. He's got this King Dragoon. He's got this Fusilier guy going on. So it's time to side deck, and I'm like, okay, I lost. I got my Trap Dust Shoots are coming in. My Regeki Breaks are coming in. My Share the Pains may come in because I got this idiot that I gotta figure out how to get off the thing. And we're gonna go in round 2. You gotta just shake it off. What happens? These bad beats happen. You miss lethal and you lose. It happens to everyone. I'm sure it happens all the time. You just gotta shake it off and keep it moving, man. And don't get caught up on the little stuff. Hopefully. But obviously I'm gonna choose to go first.
Round 2.
I draw. Oh man, I get it again. So somebody loves me because I get Pot of Greed again, and I get Trap Dust Shoot. So I'm like, okay, I get Book of Moon, Metamorphosis, Magician of Faith, Pot of Greed, Spirit Reaper, Trap Dust Shoot. He gets Heavy Storm, Dust Tornado, Ring of Destruction, Metamorphosis, and Kaiko. I think he brings the Kaiko in. I'm not sure if he had that in the deck because I didn't see Kaiko in the last one. So that's going to be something new that I can kind of look out for. And that's it. So looking at our hands, my hand is a little bit better than his hand, but that's just how the game goes sometimes, So I go first. I play the Pot of Greed. I draw 2. I set the Dust Shoot, and I set the Sangan. Sometimes if I play Pot of Greed, I'll just play the Magician of Faith and see if I can just get it immediately. But, knock is still a thing. If you're going to knock somebody, just knock the Sangan. I don't care. Whatever. And I'll get a chance to see his hand soon with this Trap Dust Shoot, so that'll see what's going to happen. So I say go. He draws into Sinister Serpent, which is good for him because now he's got his Metamorphosis is online with his 1,000 Eyes. Maybe he'll just do it right now and save me the trouble of having to deal with it later. But I don't think that'll be a good move. But I go Trap Dust Shoot here anyway in the standby phase. I get the Sinister Serpent to just break up all that. Sinister Serpent's a really, really good card. So I don't want this to happen. I can deal with the Kaiko, but I can't deal with that right now. So just get that out of here. And I see he has the ring, the dust, and the heavy. He brings out the Kaiko and just swings in. I get the Sangen, and I get my own Sinister Serpent. So now my Metamorphosis situation is online, and I know by his hand that he doesn't have a Nobleman of Crossout. So he's got a 1 or 2 in 36 chance of getting one if he runs 2. And, you know, I feel comfortable with that. I will, well, actually probably higher than that because he got the Pot of Greed, Grapes of Charity, maybe Upstarts, I don't know. But I feel confident that I think I'm just going to set this Magician of Fate and just see what happens. So I set the Fate, set the Book of Moon, set the Ring, and I think I just say go. Yes. Because, okay, so I set 2 because I know that he had the Dust Tornado, and I wanted him to he can get 1, and I wanted some kind of protection just in case. You know, I don't want him to just be banishing my thing. So I figured he go Book of Moon, or he go Dust Tornado, and I roll the dice. Maybe he'll hit the Book of Moon, maybe he'll hit the Ring, whatever. Either way, if he hits 1 and he brings out another guy, I can just book the other one, and stop him from playing, and then I can bring out the Sword. I don't know. That was my thought. If I'm wrong, you know what to do. At this point, you know the vibes. So he hits the Ring, which I mean I probably start shuffling more. I don't know. He hits the Ring, and he draws into another Metamorphosis, which is just trash for him because his Serpent's gone, and he's got this Kaiko here who's looking real feeble right now with his little defense. One Tsukiyomi, and he's gonna be on the ropes. You know, so he just goes battle again, swings in. I get my faith back again. I get another Pot of Greed. So that's a terrible feeling, especially when your hand's not the strongest. Your opening wasn't the strongest, and your opponent's already playing Pot of Greed, and he got it back and playing it again. You're just like, okay, you got to be really, really mentally tough to just deal with that, and you know, and maintain a good outlook on it. But it's not a fun situation. I don't like being on that side. It happens to all of us, I'm sure. Anyone who plays this game knows that this is probably, you know, one of the most broken things to do, which is Fate and Pot of Greed. So, you know, it happens. You just gotta keep going. He'll do it to me. I'll do it to him. It'll keep happening. It won't stop happening. I draw a Breaker and Scapegoat. I go ahead and set the Spear Reaper and the Raigeki break, and I pass it over to him. He draws into the dual mode beast again, which is just, he's got it again. And I'm like, okay, this sucks. You know, hopefully I can get something to get that guy out of here this time. But he hits into the Spirit Reaper, and he doesn't have a way around it just yet. He actually does, he has the Ring. And he just decides to, but okay, so in phase, I go ahead and Raigeki break his new set, because I'm not sure what this is, because he hasn't played it yet, but it could be anything. So I go ahead and I had the Serpent in hand, so it was just a free discard anyway. Because my plan was to go ahead and in this tournament, I don't want to make any excuses, but this tournament was like really, really late at night, and everyone's kind of tired. He was tired, I'm tired, and it's, you know. So I'm not gonna say I was making the best plays, but my plan was I was gonna pop whatever this was. I thought this was something that was dead. And I figure I got this Book of Moon, I got this Breaker, I can break this, Book of Moon him, switch it to attacking, and get a card. But alas, those plans were foiled, because I bring out the Breaker according to plan, remove the counter, break the Ring, and he pops the Spirit Reaper, which makes me scratch, because now I'm like, okay, he's got something for me. He's got a surprise. I'm like, all right, I go ahead and Book of Moon the Kaiko here, and I just attack over to make this guy, you know, whenever I get, you know, I got the Light and Dark already, so if I need to bring this out now, I can, because Kaiko is no longer with us. He draws Book of Moon, he sets, and he just goes right back into this. Hate to see it. This guy's back on me, dude, again. And I'm like, okay, but this time I feel a little more prepared. Last time I had, you know, 11 cards in my deck. This time I have 26. So out of these 26 cards, I'll have more of a chance to get him out of here. So I'm not as worried, but I'm still, you know, quite upset that this guy is back again. He goes ahead and sets his Book of Moon, which is good for him. I draw a Regeki Break, which sucks because I can't target this thing again. But I'm fine. I'm chilling. I know I got these scapegoats here. I can kind of just cruise. He draws Magician of Faith. He tries to swing in. I flip over the scapegoat. Good for me. He hits one. I draw into Thunder Dragon, which, I mean, it's fine. Just kind of thinning out the deck a little bit, you know. Maybe I can get to something that's going to help me in this situation. And I say go. But again, I got these goats. He's got to kill, you know, 2 more. He hits another one. Now I'm down to 2. I draw a Tribe, which I'm like, okay, perfect. Unless this is, you know, Solemn Judgment, which would just be just heinous. I'm feeling great. Because I know I have this thing down. I play the Regeki Break on his set. Pop the Book of Moon, which is wonderful for me. I'm going to bring out the Tribe, throw for the Tribe, and I throw for the Regeki Break. And I go ahead and bonk for 16. I'm like, okay, whew, 1 down. Maybe he's got another one. Hopefully he doesn't run 2. Maybe he's got premature. That's always a thing. I don't want to deal with this thing again. So he goes ahead and duos here, and which is fine. He actually played it this time. Last time he didn't play it. He hits the Thunder Dragon, and I throw out the Metamorphosis. A lot of times when you throw out Metamorphosis, that's another tail that you have another one. So I'm assuming he knows that I have another Metamorphosis in my hand and 1 other card. He says a Dust Tornado. Let's go. I just go ahead and keep swinging. What's the point of doing anything else? Because he sets 1. I'm just going to swing. You're going to have to do something, or you're just going to get 16 over and over again. He brings out the Breaker, which is pretty clean. He just gets the nice knockout of the Tribe for 300 damage, which is fine. I think for a brief second, get my Serpent back, which I gotta be more cognizant of. I need to not leave that guy in the graveyard because he's playing Kaiko now. That could have been this Breaker could have easily have been Kaiko, knock my Serpent out, and you know that would suck. So I gotta make sure I just discarded it, but still, always get your Serpent back. It doesn't hurt. I just go for it with the Tsukiyomi. I was thinking about one thing, like I'll try the Tsukiyomi. If that fails, then I can go into Thousand Eyes. If as a backup plan, but we'll see what he does. So he flips it down, and I get the clean plus with a Breaker with a counter. You love to see it. And I have the 2 goats left, so I'm feeling not too bad. I'm feeling pretty good. He says he draws a knock and says go. That's fine. I'm not really setting anything. Which again, I like these guys because if this had been Dekoichi, which it very well could have been, or probably should be, or Gravekeeper Spy, I'm probably setting right here. Or if it's Dekoichi, I'm definitely going to set it. And then his knock is just even more powerful. But with this Tomato, I'm just going to bring him out and just swing anyway. So maybe you can swing with the Dekoichi too. I mean, it doesn't matter. He's a dark. He's got 14. He's got 1,000. Whatever. But you're going to be tempted to get that plus off his effect. So I'm going to try to get or another dark out of my deck with his effect, if it works, but maybe it won't. What do you guys think? He draws the Book of Moon, so now he's got the Book of Moon. He's got the Nobleman. He's got the Metamorphosis. He's got the Magician of Faith. I mean, he's getting there. He's got stuff. This Dust Tornado is not doing a whole lot, and I'm not really setting anything for him to get it off. Because I don't want to set another thing. A lot of people make mistakes. If you have goats already, at least 2, and you have a monster, don't put the goats down because if they get destroyed, you can't use them. That's just a waste. So tip for player. These are called JD's tips for players. You know, think about it. So he goes ahead and goes into Metamorphosis with the Magician of Faith. He doesn't want to risk me having Nobleman. I haven't played one yet, and we're over half the deck in. So he's reading, which is a great read, that I have Nobleman. So he doesn't want to play it. He doesn't want to set it and just leave it to get it knocked, and then that's just a waste. So he has a 1. Magician of Faith 1-star. He Metamorphoses. Goes for his 1,000 Eyes. Again, he's got somebody with some stats, which is great. So now he can start swinging. But he knows I have this Tsukiyomi already, which is dope because he's got this Book of Moon and this cross out as backup. And he goes ahead and swings at one of my tokens, and I draw just the sackiest mystical space that you'll ever see. So just like I said earlier, you don't want to just rip it, but at the same time, I've been attacking this whole game with this middle card here. So I figure it's something that can't be used to stop my attacks, because he would have surely used it already. But this one is something new. So I don't know what this card could be. This could be anything. He said it. So I got this mystical space, and I'm like, maybe I should just go ahead and use this now from my hand before I make this play, because if I do bring this out, book his guy, he's just gonna book my guy, or whatever. It could be anything. I don't know. So I go ahead and space, and I hit it. Great hit. Great, just a lucky draw, or whatever. I bring out the Tsukiyomi again, and he's pissed. Flip, do the thing, kill the Thousand Eyes. And wait a minute. Dude, did I do it again? Oh my god, I'm so bad, dude. Oh my goodness. So again, this could be torrential, maybe that's what I was playing around. But I bring out the Tsukiyomi, I bring out the Chaos Sorcerer, and I just win again. So terrible. I am just horrible. Yeah, because I got the Tsukiyomi, flip down, bring out Sork, and just attack for 23, and the game is over again. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh my god. So yeah, I bring out the Shiro Priest, swing in for 17. He takes it. He gets premature burial, super dead. He sets it. I bring out the Shiro Priest again, swing in for 17. He flips the ghost. I just machine gun all the ghosts. Go ahead and set my ghost to Dust Tornadoes, that's the card that's been there the whole time. I'm just so bad at this game. He draws Tribe. He goes ahead and summons it. Hits my goat. I draw Heavy Storm. I just go ahead and play it. Wow. Yeah, that was again. I had a great hand to open up with. I was drawing great cards. He didn't see a lot of his good cards. That's just how the game is sometimes. You can't really do too much about that. That's not taking anything away from him. I think he played it as best as he could versus the cards that I had. It was just, that is this game. That's how it is. If you don't like it, this game probably not going to be for you. But it's still fun. I love it. All right. Sorry, I'm ranting. This is JD rant hour. Final round. You're tuned in. Fight. You're driving on your road. This is the nice time to tune in to JD rant. Power rant, goat format rant time. This is what we do, baby. We just rant. Sorry, edit. All right, so I draw again. Another. Dueling Book is really loving me right now. I don't know what I'm doing to get these pretty decent hands, but anytime you see one of these trendy cards in your opening hand, you think it's going to be you have options. You have opportunities. I draw the Sork, Charity, Book of Moon, Tsukiyomi, Share the Pain. Opponent gets the Call of the Haunted, Dust Tornado, Kaiko, Metamorphosis, Dust Tornado. So double Dust. Call, Kaiko, Metamorphosis. He goes first. He draws the Mind Control, so he brings in the Mind Controls now. That's the first time I've seen that. Kaiko, I think he left those in for my Chaos whatnots. He summons the Kaiko, sets the tornado, and just says go. That's a very strong move, very bold. But for the Graceful Charity, again, for the newer crew, the newer people, if you're new to this format, just go ahead and make sure you give me a like and a subscribe and a follow and all that crap. But a lot of times you get Graceful Charity in this format, and you just want to immediately play it. You just want to play it. I think, and I've been trying it. I used to do that too, and it's not always wrong. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do based on what's going on. But a lot of times you want to try to save that, to get as much value out of that, as much mileage out of that Graceful Charity as you can. Worst case scenario, they get Spirit Reaper or Vestalos or Delinquent Duo or something, and they rip it out of your hand. It's just another card, man. It sucks. That's the worst case scenario. But the best case scenario is you get a Sinister Serpent or Thunder Dragons or something to get some maximum value out of this. So you always want to try to save it if you can. If you can't, whatever. So again, I break my own rules because I know that I want to get aggressive with the Tsukiyomi, and I don't want to get Book of Moon or Mirror Forest or whatever. So I go ahead and rip this thing. Worst case is going to be goats, and then it is what it is. I get this guy out of here to hopefully make room for my Sork later on. So I do it. still in my, yeah, I do it. Bring out Tsukiyomi, flip it down. Kaiko, if he just had like more defense, he'd be so good. But he's a really good card, but I hate that 700. That's so stupid. Yeah, flips the Kaiko, flip, and knock him out. Moving on to the next play. He draws the pot of greed, so he's feeling good because now he can kind of, because his hand right now, like my hand's not doing a whole lot. I'm saving this Graceful Charity, but his hand, he's got the Mind Control, the Metamorphosis, Call of Haunted, Dust Tornado. He's really not, you know, he really doesn't have anything going on. But Spot of Greed can kind of change that real quick. He slaps it down. He goes Book of Moon, Graceful Charity, which again, he's just loving it. His pot in the Graceful situation. I need to talk to his shuffler, man. That's pretty sick. He goes and sets the Book of Moon, and he says go. Same thing like me. He doesn't want to just play it. You want to get maximum mileage out of that. So he's waiting on Serpent. He's waiting on something like a Jinzo that he can toss and then call back with this thing or something. I go and set the goats, and he Dust Tornadoes immediately. That's activates that Dust Tornado effect, which a lot of people don't do. Got to start doing that more. He gets Premature Burial, and then he just says go. I'm not doing anything. He's not doing anything. Like why waste the cards? I draw on the Spirit Reaper. Same thing again. I mean, you're gonna have to, whatever you got, you're gonna have to use it. Let's see it. And of course he plays the ball on it, brings back the Kaiko, which is unfortunate for me. But I also don't have anything in my graveyard yet, so I mean it is what it is. He draws to his Sinister Serpent. His patience pays off, you know, for waiting and not ripping that Graceful Charity 3 turns ago. He just saved it. And he can go ahead and play it. Guilt-free, conscious-free. He draws Scapegoats, DD Warrior Lady, Jinzo. Yeah, it double paid off because now he can throw out the Jinzo, throw out the Sinister Serpent, premature the Jinzo, and he's just cooking all around. You know, that's a good play. Well, that's a great play for him. He's got the Jinzo. He's got, you know, the Premature Burial. He's got the Sinister Serpent. So he just went up in a major way. And again, my psyche, my motivation, I'm just, you know, man, it sucks. Pot, Graceful, Jinzo, Serpent. Oh my God. Man, you know, you're getting these throws of the game. You're like, hey, but this is the game. This is how it is. He pays 800, brings back the Jinzo, brings out the DD Warrior Lady, and I'm like, man, I'm about to take a monster damage. He hits the Spirit Reaper. I take the 12. I don't want to use this book because if I do, he could just banish it anyway. It's just like, what's the point of that? He banishes, hit me for 18. I go ahead and take it. He hits me for 24, but I have to go ahead and book the Jinzo. For a couple reasons. I don't want to eat that damage for 1, and for 2, like if I get a Trap Dust Shoot or something right now, I still can potentially use it if that happens. I draw into the sickest Thunder Dragon that you can get, I think, because, you know, my Graceful Charity that I waited so long for actually comes alive. I was probably gonna, honestly, had this not come, I probably would have just had to play it anyway, but this is just a perfect time to get that. I go ahead and play it, activate his effect, send him to the graveyard, get 2 more to my hand, and then I play my own Graceful Charity. So it's like a little snapback to what he just did to me. I just got to discard the 1 Thunder Dragon, and maybe I should have tossed a Dark here just to kind of activate my Chaos, but I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna throw out the other Thunder Dragon, and if this Tsukiyomi dies, I can then bring out the Chaos Sorcerer or something if I need to. And I did draw the Trap Dust Shoot, so it kind of worked out by setting this Jinzo, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so I set the Kaiko again with Tsukiyomi, and then I attack the Kaiko again. Now my opponent, he has his Book of Moon, and he's thinking like, maybe I should just book the Tsukiyomi and keep my Kaiko alive. But then I played not too many cards, but 26, I played 14, 15 cards. I could out of 5, one of these could easily be Snatch Steal. I want to protect this Jinzo. That's probably what he's thinking. So he's got this Book of Moon. He doesn't want to use it, or he's trying to bluff that, hey, maybe this is not a Book of Moon. This is a more a bigger, better trap that he's trying to save for a different time. But he doesn't decide to use it because there's no way he knows I'm rocking Share the Pain. I haven't played it yet, unless he's just some kind of super Pegasus Millennium Eye kind of thing. There's no way he knows I have this play coming up. So I go ahead and hit over the Kaiko. And then basically I play Share the Pain. And he's just like, what the hell is going on right now? This is bullshit. I brought this in for that little freaking King Dragoon dude, but you know, it works too. So I sack the Tsukiyomi, which gives me the dark that I need. And then he has to now, unless this is Goats, that would have been a super punish. But whatever, even if it was Goats, I don't care. But fortunately for me, it wasn't. And now he has to go ahead and sack his. I kind of knew it wasn't Goats because, again, I know my opponent is a very good Goats player, and he wouldn't play set Goats and Jinzo and two monsters, because then I could just heavy him and his Goats would die. So he wouldn't do that. Yeah, so he gets the Jinzo. And he's just like, what the hell just happened? I just got Share the Pain, and that's just trash. Yeah, so he draws into another Kaiko, and I'm just like, okay. I go ahead and dust shoot. Now this is where I mess up. So my opponent, if you notice, I played the dust shoot as he was looking into his graveyard. So technically I don't have access to that Sinister Serpent if I did, which is that's just something that I gotta clean up. All these things, these little technicalities, you gotta clean it up, because in a tournament setting, my opponent doesn't owe me anything. Like, why would he say yeah? So fortunately for me, he drew this Kaiko, which gives him another monster, which makes my dust shoot better. But had he said if this was another spell or trap, I could have put the Sinister Serpent back and got more value out of my dust shoot. But so we kind of talk about it a little bit. And I got a little bitter about it, I'm not gonna lie, but at the end of the day, it's my own fault. And it's I reached out to him after the game and kind of apologized about, you know, getting upset about it or bitter or whatever. He brings I end up sending the Kaiko back because I don't have access to that Sinister Serpent, and which is probably serendipitous anyway, because that Kaiko going back is probably better, because he could have just brought him out and just kind of knocked my Chaos back offline and had a full body Kaiko on the board. But now he's got this Metamorphosis situation that's begging to happen. He gets his Serpent back in his standby phase, which again, good for him. I'm bad. I gotta clean it up. And then he just yeah. So I draw into the Snatch deal. I go ahead and set the Mystic Tomato, knowing full well that he has a Metamorphosis play that he can make. My thought process is, I have this Snatch, I have another Metamorphosis of my own, I have the Sork. I didn't want to bring the Sork out and, you know, risk getting that inhaled by Thousand Eyes. So I just brought this thing out knowing that he'll probably think that this is a Magician of Faith, go into Thousand Eyes right now, and then take it. And then I can just do something else later on. So that was my thought. What do you guys think? I don't know. Just a sacrificial lamb to the game. So he sets the Sinister, goes into Metamorphosis, obviously. And he takes my guy. He's got no stats this time, so he's got a big 0 up here, and I'm fine with that. You know, I got 0. He's got 0, and I know he's got Mind Control. I know he's got Goats. I don't know what this card is. And we're just kind of sitting here. We're in like a stalemate. I'm drawn. He's drawn. I'm drawn. These are goat mirrors for you. Sorry this video is so long. This is just what goat mirrors are like. He draws to his ace monster, his boss monster, the Protector of the Sanctuary. He's all about Protector, which I think is a pretty underserved card too. I think he sized that guy in. I didn't see him in the first game. But I think, yeah, I have Pot of Greed left. I don't play any upstarts, so it is what it is. He summons the Protector just to stop me from playing my Pot of Greed whenever it comes up. I draw Magician of Faith. I know he has his Mind Control. I want to keep that as dead as I can. So, and I also don't want Tsukiyomi to come out and just start plussing on my people. So he's not attacking. I got these Goats. I'm just chilling. I'm just gonna sit here and see what happens so I can get something to do. He draws the Liquid Duo. He goes ahead and decides to play it, which is unfortunate for me. He hits the Magician of Faith, and he hits. I throw out the Sork. I don't know why I did that. I don't know what my thought process was on that. Honestly, I should have kept the Sork and probably threw this Metamorphosis. I don't know. That was really weird. I don't know why I did that. But maybe I don't know. I had some kind of bluff. Maybe I wanted him to think I had BLS too, and I didn't want him. I had one whatever, or maybe I had Pot of Greed or something, and I have no idea why I did that. Because that was my clean out to this thing. I don't know what the hell am I doing. I draw into Sinister Serpent, which is cool because that activates my Metamorphosis just in case I can, But it's fine. Nothing's happening. He's sitting here. I'm sitting here. Goat mirrors. And I draw to Assure Priest. And again, not doing anything. He draws into Zaborg, the Thunder Monarch, which kind of sucks because I don't have a target for him to explode with his effect. So usually sacking this, like if this was actual, like I know why he brought this in, but had this Zaborg been the light Air Knight that it should have been, the light 5 that you need, that Air Knight, he would have absolutely just run my buns right here because I got nothing but goats to stop that assault. So Air Knight Parshat, they used to play Air Knight and goats all the time, and if that had been an Air Knight right here, this game would have been absolutely blown wide open. But fortunately for me, it was not. Zaborg is good though in this deck, being a 5 and being a light, and his effect is a plus when he goes off. But with no one to explode, it kind of sucks. Again, so now I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and set another one. Hopefully, trying to bait out this mind control because that's giving me fits too. I don't want to give him anything good. He gets back to Serpent, and then he decides to go ahead and execute the plan and close up my guy. Never would have saw it coming. Whatever. These things happen. You just gotta keep thugging. He swings in. I go into Scapegoat. He goes ahead and metamorphates his level 5 into Dark Balter, which I love snatching Dark Balter. I mean, that is a clean snatch. Oh, this snatch is looking so tempting right now because I can snatch this guy, but he's got this book. I don't know that. He's got this book, but I got this snatch, and I'm just like, I'm going to play it so fast until I draw this Tribe Infecting Virus. And I'm like, oh, man, that kind of changes things a little bit. But I still know he has his mind control. I mean, I can bring the Tribe out, call Fiend, throw this Sinister Serpent, so it's basically for free. Worst case, he'll just mind control, and then he's going to have to kill my goats, and then whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to go for it. I bring out the Tribe, priority, call Fiend, kill both of these. This thing's a Fiend for some reason. I have no idea why that's a Fiend. Who could have called that? And I go ahead and swing in for 16. He takes it. Go. He draws BLS, and I mean, does he have it? He's got it. Man, how the hell did I win this game? He brings out the Assure Priest. He machine guns all my dudes. That is a bad feeling. That does not feel good at all. So that's a perfect counter for what I had going on, and I can't do anything about it. The snatch is extra dead now with this Assure Priest going back to the hand. And I'm like, okay, he's got a Assure Priest. He's got an out to any of my goats. I'm not in a good spot. But you know what? You're gonna keep thugging. I still have access to Thousand Eyes Restrict. I miss input again, and I go ahead and summon the Assure Priest, and I hit him. And we're just gonna do like this arms race thing, where we just smack each other for 17 and see who can survive. He takes it, which is fine because he doesn't want to get his goats machine gun. He doesn't want to waste his Book of Moon, I guess. And he goes down and brings out Assure Priest again, and I think for a second, and then I take it. Why is he not bringing out this BLS? I don't know. Like I don't know. I think he's playing around Torrential again, which he doesn't even know that I don't even have Torrential at all. You know, that's the thing about this game. That's the thing I love about this game. You can play whatever cards you want, and people will just assume that you play the best cards when you don't. So you can use that to your advantage sometimes when you, like these, I have 2 Noblemen set right here, and they aren't doing jack, nothing. They're just sitting there. But he thinks that this could be Mirror Force, maybe Torrential, maybe something I'm saving, trying to plus, because we're in Ghosts, you know. So I'm dedicated to the plus to the point where I'm willing to lose for it. So he's playing around that, but I don't know. I would have had to. You got to get aggressive a little bit. You got that Book of Moon as backup. You got some scapegoats as backup. Sometimes you got to throw caution to the wind and send it. But he had game right there for sure, and he just. But you can't expect somebody to just send through a BLS through 2 sets and just do that. So I don't blame him, but I definitely would have just went for it maybe. But that's why I'm not good. He goes ahead and books Moon this time, which is fine. He goes and draw face. He gets Mirror Force, which is sick for him. And I'm telling you, that BLS or mind control or something. I'm doing something. I think he played it a little too safe. He definitely should have won this game. Now looking at it, he sets the Mirror Force, and he says go. And I draw. I get another share of the pain, and I'm like, okay. I go ahead and normal summon the breaker. I declare its effect on the newest one that hasn't really been doing much this whole time, or the newest one that just got set. This one hasn't really been doing too much. And I say go. All right, no, I'm sorry. I hit in for a 16, and he gets all 4 of his goats. And I decide to not attack because I know that if he has 4 goats, he can't bring out this thing in particular. I guess he could right now. He could bring it out, hit over, hit again, or bring it out in defense or whatever and banish. And I have this snatch which would be sick. But I have the snatch that will be just really live. So maybe that's why he didn't want to bring it out, because he know he couldn't kill me. But he had to know that I had snatch at this point. Maybe, I'm not sure. Shaggy, if you're watching this video, just hit me up and let me know what your thought process was. He draws into a snatch shield of his own. He brings out the Assured Priest, which I kind of saw coming. I was like, whatever, it's not BLS. And he sets the ghost, which I don't like that. But it's going to get discarded anyway. But I would have probably set this mind control and kept the goats, because you don't want to keep goats. You don't want to, whatever. It doesn't matter. You got 4 goats. You don't want to lose them for free. So I draw into the sackiest, most broken, most stupid Lego duo you'll ever see. I go ahead and bring out Thousand Eyes here, just to kind of slow down his Assured Priest from waxing me. Thousand Eyes comes out, declare effect. I don't know why I did that. I should have just left him there. And I play the sackiest Lego duo. What do you think I'm going to roll on this dice? Tell me what you think in the comments. What's happening on this dice roll? Of course it's going to be a 5, and I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hit the Black Luster Soldier, and he's got to be sick. He's got to be absolutely just livid. I would be pissed. I would be, because he should have won this game. I should have won the first game, and I think I should have went ahead and won this game too, or one of the other games. And I just super sack him with the luck on the Lincoln duo. And he's probably pissed. He's probably like, okay, this game sucks. I will never play this game again. He throws out the Assured Priest and says go. So I'm sitting there. I got my guy. He's not doing anything. I know he has this mind control, which is take him. He's got the Magician of Faith. He's got. I draw, tap that shoot. I set it. For some reason, I don't play it. I still haven't played it. I didn't play it. What the hell? I think I was having some lagging issues, and it wouldn't play when I wanted it to play. But I mean, it's fine. It is what it is. I don't really care. So it gets the Magician of Faith back, which is cool. I get the sword, and I say go. Nothing's happening. I draw into Pot of Greed. 11 cards left in the deck. You get a Pot of Greed. That's pretty sick. I go ahead and play it. I get BLS and Magician of Faith, which is also sick. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to set this Magician of Faith, and maybe I can go at some point next turn or whenever I can get a Share the Pain off, get rid of this thing, flip the Magician of Faith, and then shenanigans. We'll see what happens. But he draws. I think he gets another Scapegoat. What do you draw? Metamorphosis or Scapegoat, one of those two. I can't remember. Check the tape. He goes ahead and plays the Mind Control, which sucks because I knew he had it. I've been waiting on that card for 10 turns now, and he finally gets it off, and his course is on something good. But fortunately for me, he can't flip it until he does have the he has the ring, plays it, flips, gets his pot of greed back. Where's his serpent? He never got his serpent back. I don't know how. He should have got the serpent back and got the graceful charity. I think that would have been better. But you know what? He's probably in the moment. He's late. It's late. He's out here just sending it. In phase, I get my faith back, and then I get drawn to heavy storm, and then play. And he's gonna be so upset when he sees that all I have is 2 super dead noblemen. This man has set a card. He hasn't set a card in 15 turns. That sucks because he knows that he could have won at this point. But for some reason, I tried to just style out. I played Snatch Deal on the GOAT, just let him know what card I had in my hand. I played Share the Pain on the GOAT, sacking the GOAT. I threw out BLS, and that's it. That's the ball game, folks. You know, and it just sucks, man, because he could have won. I could have won. Both of us were kind of on the same level. We're 2, you know, middling kind of guys. We're just trying to find our way and see how good we can both get at this format. I think he's a great player. He made some great moves. I made some decent moves. I made some terrible moves. But there's definitely things we could have both done different to kind of make the outcome of that game come out a little differently. But I mean, if you stayed around and you watched this video throughout all of this, you know, you're a real one for one. I think going forward, I'm going to try to make these things a little shorter. But these GOAT mirrors, man, they just last a really long time. This is what I wanted. I wanted to kind of have longer matches, I think, to see more stuff and get more experiences and have different card combinations and see what would happen. And that's kind of what I wanted. So if you like this, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Let's get a conversation, let's get a dialogue going, and tell me what you think. And also, this channel is super new. We're trying to do something. I want to keep it as GOAT specific as I can. I don't really know anything about the new modern stuff. I don't know what's going on with that, but I want to be heavily invested in the GOAT stuff. So if there's anything GOAT you want to see, I got a lot of ideas and a lot of videos lined up of what I want to do, where I want to take it, where I want to see it go. And I would like if you came along with me and joined me in this process, man. So I can, you know, I'll do my best. I'm learning every day about this whole thing and recording, and I'm figuring this thing out. Build as you fly. I want to do live matches. I want to do live dueling books. I want to do, you know, progression stuff. I want to do everything. You know, I want to kind of find something fresh and new, without stealing too much. But it's only so much you can do without, you know, ripping off somebody else. So I'll try my best. But with that, it's going to take whatever you guys want to see. If you want to see something, feel free. This is something very new. I want you to have if you know you're the first 10 people to subscribe, you're in the OG crew, you know. So this is something that we can start together. Let's build it. Let's make it grow. Let's see if we can get, you know, 10 people in here. If we can get 10 subscribers, we can get 100. We can get 100. We can get 200. And then it's just I want to do for fun and something I want to do just because playing this format is something that I am passionate about. So if you are passionate about it too, or if you like it, if you like to have fun with this game, feel free to hit me up. I'm in the goatformat Discord. I'm always in there. JDZ. Shoot me a message or shoot me a thumbs down or whatever you want to do. I'm also in the GOAT Dungeon Discord. It's a smaller Discord, but we play a lot of remote stuff, a lot of, you know, live stuff with real cards. So if you're into that, let me know. We can do more real card stuff. I got plenty of cards, and I'm buying more cards every day. So yeah, I'm interested. I wanna grow this thing, but specifically for GOATs only, you know. So I wanna try to I wanna learn the new stuff as it comes, but I wanna keep it more GOAT centric. But I'm ranting enough, so just make sure you just come on by every now and then. Go ahead and like, subscribe, thumbs up, whatever you want to do. If you don't feel like subscribing just yet, you know, just let me prove myself a little bit more. But I'm gonna try to make this thing as consistent as I can. I know we all have jobs, we all have work, we have things or obligations to do, and you know, I want to keep myself accountable and make this part of it. So if I set goals and I want to be a more of a top tier elite GOAT format player, I need to put in the work, and this is how I keep myself accountable. So you keeping me accountable, me keeping myself accountable, putting these videos out, even if no one watches it, it's still going to be something to that. So I will thank you for that. Until then, good continue to play goats. And if you want to play me, hit me up. Salute till next time. I'll holla. Peace.
This program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.